cool books this month, so let's talk about it. I started off the month of May with reading Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, and this was a really good book. It's about a woman and just kind of her daily life as she navigates some of the past trauma that she had as a child and how that trauma kind of relates into her life. Highly recommend this, and it was an excellent read. Second book I read in the month of May was Blood and Honey, and this is the sequel to Serpent and Dove. This series is about a witch who gets into a relationship with a witch hunter, and she also has some turmoil with her family that it goes into detail about. That's kind of one of the main premises of the book. A witch hunter, a gaggle of witches and friends, and it's really interesting if you're into that kind of fantasy, romantasy genre. I'm reading the third one right now, which I'm also enjoying. Good read. I like them. The next book that I read in May was Lilith. This was a really, really good book. It's about Lilith, who is a biblical character. She was the first woman before Eve. I would say if you are into feminist literature or religious literature at all, this is a really good book. If you're looking for a manageable way to dip your toe in kind of religious novels at all, I do think this is a good. The fourth book that I read in May was The Alchemist, a fable about following your dreams. This was a really good read. It was short, it was sweet, it's a fable. It's about a boy who is trying to follow his dreams, a young man, and he goes across, a bit of the world to make that happen. And it's definitely like one of those feel-good books. You have to read between the lines a little bit at certain times, and I find that fun. And I'd say overall it was a really good read. Oh, and there's love in there, and that's always fun to have in a book, a little bit of love. And then the final book that I read in May was The Lost Apothecary. This, again, really good book. You'll come to find out that I will probably say every book was a pretty good book. I love reading. I don't know. Every story is just an interesting story. It's just another story, and I don't think you can ever get too many stories. So again, it was another good book. Or I'm just really lucky and I find good things, because I pretty much enjoy everything that I read. The enjoyment pretty much always there. I really just like reading. There's 3 different perspectives in here, all women. One is a modern day perspective. The 2 others are from the past. The interesting interweaving of how all of these women's lives connect is that it is about an apothecary where they're dispensing remedies that may be toxic. If you're into historical fiction, definitely a good grab. I love period pieces, and I love getting little details of the past while I'm reading. So this was a very good example of that. Hanging out with me, and keep reading.